So there's a viral story going around about a hungry photographer that deletes all the pictures of bride and groom after being denied food at a wedding. So I have not read the story. I wanted to react to it for the first time and give you guys my thoughts. Am I the asshole for deleting my friends' wedding photos in front of them? I'm not really a photographer, I'm a dog groomer. Okay, the very first sentence just says it all. Okay. We're not off to a good start here. They say, I take lots of photos of dogs all day to put on my Facebook and Instagram. It's my thing, if that makes sense. A cut and a photo with every appointment. I very seldom shoot things other than dogs, even if I have a nice setup. A friend got married a few days ago and wanting to save money, asked if I'd shoot it for them. Oh man. You know, and people do this though. They try to convince, like they'll see someone posting a nice iPhone picture. Oh yeah, you want to shoot my baby's baptism for the first time? Like, I think people just assume because you photograph like the clouds nicely that you can just shoot an entire event, and that's really not how it works. A wedding is so specific with the types of shots that people want and lighting, and it can be very chaotic. So just because someone takes pictures of a dog, I don't think that you should try to convince them to shoot your wedding, but that's just me. I told him it's not really my forte, but he convinced me by saying he didn't care if they were perfect. The biggest red flag right there. He convinced me by saying he didn't care if they were perfect. That's a lie right there. Trust me, he cares. He definitely is gonna be disappointed if he's not receiving like $10,000 wedding photography quality from you, even if he's paying you pennies. He's gonna expect it. And they're definitely going to bring up things that you didn't do, or the lighting. They're going to bring up shots that you missed. Even if they're paying you literally nothing, trust me, they are going to bring it up. They're going to be disappointed. So the fact that he's saying, oh, we don't care if they're perfect. Yeah, he definitely cares. Like, I'm telling you, he definitely cares. These are his wedding pictures. So he's just saying that so that you'll agree to do it. Like, oh, no pressure. Okay, he didn't care if they were perfect. They were on a shoestring budget, and I agreed to shoot it for $250, which is nothing for a 10-hour event. 10-hour event for $250. $250, I mean, you might as well be paying them to do this. To be honest with you, what is $250 for wedding photography? Can I quickly point out, it is not just 10 hours of work. You don't just take pictures on a wedding day and, okay, that's it, good job. No. The wedding day, the end of the wedding day is the beginning of the work day. Then you got to upload all the photos to your computer, back it up to another hard drive. Then you have to cull all the photos. You gotta look through all the thousands of pictures. Like, let's say you took 2,000 pictures, 3,000 pictures, you gotta look through all those pictures, send them to your clients. Then you have to edit the pictures that they want, retouch, you gotta do revisions, you gotta add the colors. And then you have to upload all that back up there, and it just takes a long time. It's a lot of hours. It's definitely over 10 hours. So this $250 is barely covering, it's not covering anything, to be honest with you. On the day of, I'm driving around following the bride as she goes from appointment to appointment before the ceremony, taking photos along the way. I shoot the ceremony itself, and during the reception, I'm shooting speeches and people mingling. So this sounds like just a basic day as a wedding photographer. You essentially are with the bride and the groom the entire day. You're going with them to any little thing that they want photos of. And that's why it's just a lot of work to be a wedding photographer. You're in a lot of different lighting scenarios. Maybe you're in a room with no windows. Maybe you're in a giant hall with lots of natural light. You have to adjust your settings. You have to know if you want to set up lights in that situation, if you want to use a flash. So it is a lot of work following someone around, taking pictures the entire day. And also you have to be observant of what's happening on a wedding day. You don't want to miss any special moments. So that's why wedding photography is so expensive. I started around 11 a.m. and was due to finish around 7:30 p.m. Around 5 p.m. food is being served, and I was told I cannot stop to eat because I need to be photographer. In fact, they didn't save me a spot at any table. I'm getting tired and at this point kind of regretting doing this for next to nothing. It's also unbelievably hot. The venue is an old Veterans Legion and it's like 110 Fahrenheit and there's no AC. I'm gonna be honest here, as a wedding photographer, that this has happened to me many times where I show up to a wedding and it's dinner time and there's nowhere for me to sit. There wasn't a spot reserved for me or my second shooter. Sometimes they will even put us in like a back room. Sometimes they won't have any food for us at all. So I've definitely been in a lot of situations where they just don't have anything for us. And that's why I do come prepared with granola bars, or what will happen is when the guests are eating, me and my second shooter will go grab something to eat and just come back. We're prepared for everything. And in contrast, we've had wedding clients who are extremely kind that give us our own table for all the vendors. They make sure that we have food. Like, they literally will come to check on us and be like, hey, have you guys eaten? Did you guys get your food? So there is a contrast there, but you it's just a toss up. You know, you want to talk to your clients about that prior to the wedding day and definitely include it in a contract, which you would do when you're booking your clients. Contract would state, hey, I need a meal, you know, at this certain time. Or if you're not providing a meal, I'm going to take an hour break and just go get some food. So that's something that you kind of discuss beforehand. Otherwise, it's a wild card, to be honest with you. I told the groom I need to take off for 20 minutes to get something to eat and drink. Okay, that's great. By the way, 20 minutes, I would have asked for more, honestly. But I think that the photographer is being reasonable. There's no open bar or anything. I can't even get water, and my 2 water bottles are long empty. He tells me I need to either be photographer or leave without pay. With the heat, being hungry, being generally annoyed at the circumstances, I asked if he was sure and he said yes, so I deleted all the photos I took in front of him and took off saying I'm not his photographer anymore. I mean, they did ask if the groom was sure about his decision before deleting the pictures. So I feel like that's kind of on you. If I was to be paid $250, honestly, at that point, I would have paid $250 just for a glass of cold water and somewhere to sit for 5 minutes. Was I the asshole? They went right on their honeymoon and they've been off all social media, but a lot of people have been posting on their wall asking about photos with 0 responses. Like, he refuses her water all day. He doesn't let her eat. No breaks. You can't drink water. And he's like, I'm just so surprised. I wonder what happened. She just suddenly left. The JPEGs are gone. At the end of the day, this person's main job is not a professional photographer. It's not their business. They don't do weddings full time. So it's not like them deleting pictures. Like, they probably didn't care. But professional photographers who, again, they do this for a living. It's their job. They live and breathe this. They have a reputation, all that stuff. They definitely would not do this. If you really cared about your friendship with this person and if you really valued them as your friend, you wouldn't put them in this position in the first place. All this could have been solved with a water bottle and some respect. You didn't have both of those, and you didn't have AC either. Like I said, if they were doing this full time, it's their professional business. They probably wouldn't delete pictures like that in front of the clients. Like, I don't know, but they would listen. If it were somebody else, maybe they would have like edited the pictures like ugly in Lightroom, put like an ugly preset. The pictures are overexposed, or like all the pictures are out of focus. I don't know. Who am I to say? This is a friend doing a favor for you. And you're telling me $250. Do you know how much photographers charge? Do you know if you were to pay a professional wedding photographer what they would charge? And I'm sure that the bride and the groom know how much they would charge because it's a lot of money. We're talking about over $2,000 to $3,000, okay? And that's just a minimum amount. We're talking about, it can go into the tens of thousands of dollars for really good wedding photography. So I feel like they kind of took advantage of their friend's kindness just because they're taking pictures of the cute dogs and the pictures come out good doesn't mean that they're equipped to handle the chaos and the environment of a wedding. Why do I feel like people think that just because people are over here posting on Instagram that they're capable of shooting their wedding? Like, they look at someone's Instagram and they're like, you know what, we should hire this man. He has like a picture of, I don't know, he takes pictures of his cat or trees or like the Eiffel Tower. They're like, yes, this is this is the man who's going to capture our special day. If the photo's in focus, do you think like, okay, yes, they have the skills necessary to shoot my wedding? You could take nice pictures day to day, but to actually photograph and document a wedding is a whole other skill set. And there's shots that brides are going to want, and you're going to have to know all of that. You're going to have all of that in your memory from shooting so many weddings. So I'm saying like you have to have a bit of experience to be able to do this successfully. My general rule, and this is just me, I never do weddings, engagements. I never do pictures for friends and family. And I just feel like it could end in a ruined relationship, whether or not you have good photography or whether or not they like the pictures. What if they ask for more pictures, or what if they deleted the pictures and they want you to redo them, or anything can happen and that could jeopardize your relationship with them. So again, that's just my personal decision. You just have to think, okay, if they're not happy with these pictures or something goes wrong on the shoot, then I'm doing for my cousin, or it could be your best friend. How are you able to handle what's going to come after that? Are you willing to put your relationship on the line, is what I'm saying. I don't blame the photographer at all. I feel like they were put in a situation where these people are trying to save money, and they're kind of convincing you, you'll do great. And then you kind of feel pressured to say yes, like, okay, fine, I'll do it. I want to make my friends happy, do something nice for your friends on their wedding day. If you're someone who you need to absolutely have like an hour break, or you need a meal, put it in your contract and discuss it with your clients beforehand. But again, you have to remember this person is not a professional in photography, so they're not going to have things like a contract. They're not going to really know what to expect. I don't know what it is about photographers. The people just think that like we're like lowly peasants. We're like lowly peasants. We just like don't feed them, don't even look at them. No one wants to be seen with us. They're like, photographer gets close, they're like, oh yeah. I mean, you basically feel like a Lord Farquaad, Shrek kind of dynamic as a photographer, and we're not Lord Farquaad. And listen, I've been there where I get like pressured into doing stuff that I don't want to do in the first place. Like they hype you up for no reason. Like they're giving you compliments on something you don't even do. Like, hey, can you do surgery on my cat? They're like, no, you have a bachelor's degree, you should be good. Girl, you have a cat. I know you can do surgery. Come on. How can you treat someone like that? I don't get it. This person is doing you a favor by trying to save you money, and is like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll do something nice and photograph. Like, they didn't have to do it for you. They took themselves out of an environment that was uncomfortable for them. They weren't being treated well in. So can you even blame them? End of the day, just don't work for friends and family. They ask you for pictures. They ask you for anything, for free surgery. Just say, sorry, I can't do it. I'm busy I'm out of the country.